Hey everyone, this is Vince. Today I'm going to look at the book When Bad Things Happen to Good People by Rabbi Harold Kushner. On my channel, I like to summarize books or ideas that I think you should know about. So if you like content like that, please subscribe. When I summarize a book, I like to make two videos. One is a short 5-minute summary so that you get the idea of the book. The other is a more in-depth summary. And the idea is so that you can watch it instead of actually reading the book, and then you can just pretend that you read it yourself. This one is the short 5-minute summary. If you like it, you can find the longer summary on my channel. I also want to note, this is a book about pain and suffering. If you are in a situation where tragedy has happened to you in your life, or it's happened to someone that you know, you are certainly welcome to watch the rest of this video. But I concentrate more on a summary of the book, not on counseling or mental health. So I have listed resources in the description to this video that might help you if you're looking for comfort. You're also welcome to email me if you'd like to. You can find my email address on my channel. Okay, Kushner's When Bad Things Happen to Good People in 5 minutes. Kushner wrote this book shortly after his son passed away at the age of 14 from a disease called progeria, which he was diagnosed with when he was 3. And Kushner wanted to write a book that could give comfort to other people who were going through similar painful experiences. One of the things Kushner says he noticed as he was going through dealing with his son's disease and ultimate death is that people would visit him and they'd say to him all the things that he himself as a rabbi would have said to others going through struggles. And he said none of them helped. In fact, they all seemed designed to comfort the comforter and not comfort the afflicted. And by that he means that people who believe in God all want to believe in a good God that loves them and protects them, and therefore they end up believing things about suffering that help them protect those beliefs, or in a way, to protect God. For instance, we blame the victim. God is great and all-powerful and protects us, so if something bad happens, then it must be you that's to blame. Or if something bad happens to you, it must be because God, in God's infinite goodness, has a plan for you that involves your suffering. So what does Kushner instead say is the cause of suffering? This is, by the way, called the problem of theodicy, or the problem of suffering. And it goes something like this. If God is an all-powerful God, and God is an all-good God, then why do bad things happen? As a springboard for his discussion, he talks about the book of Job in the Bible. Job is a good guy who suffers. And so to understand his suffering, you have to either say, 1, Job is not a good person, 2, God is not good, or 3, God is not all-powerful. Kushner believes that God in the book of Job denies number 3. God is not all-powerful. And this is the reason that people suffer. God wishes nothing but the best for us, but even God can't stop the bad things from happening. So in the book of Job, Job ends up challenging God. Why am I suffering? And God actually appears and he says, who are you to question me? Can you run the universe? Do you know how difficult it is? Kushner sees as God saying, do you have any idea how hard it is to run this universe? You think it's so easy? You try it, because I'm doing the best I can here. In other words, the universe has certain rules, the universe moves onward, and I'm not strong enough to stop it. So, to the question, why do bad things happen to good people? Kushner says, because of nature, because of genetics, because of physics, because humans have free will, so they can choose to kill or rape or treat each other horribly. Kushner named his book When Bad Things Happen to Good People because he says, the bad things are going to happen. We can't stop them, and neither can God. What matters is not why bad things happen to good people, but what happens after the bad things do happen. God may not be able to stop the bad things from happening, but this does not mean that God is useless. God, according to Kushner, can work with our spirits. God can give us the strength and the courage to keep going, to deal with our problems. God can build us up, increase our patience, help us be compassionate, and also to be resilient. Kushner often says, I believe in miracles, but not small miracles like the parting of the Red Sea. I believe in giant miracles like God changing someone's life, like God giving people strength and building them up, changing their character. Once we start to see God for who God is, we are able to pray better. meaning that we no longer pray for God to take away our pain and to save us from suffering, but for God to be with us through the suffering. We might not pray for God to help with the surgery, but to help us cope if the surgery does not go as expected. He also gives advice to those who are going through pain or suffering. His biggest advice for people is to realize that there is no meaning in the suffering. It is not inherently good in itself. It doesn't inherently mean anything. But the best way to help you with your suffering is to do something about it, to try and make it meaningful. For instance, raise money to fund research for the disease that killed your child, to write a book about your situation to help comfort others, or to stand up against fascism so that nothing like the Holocaust happens again. Finally, one of the most useful things that I felt like personally about this book, and one that I wish that everyone would take to heart, Kushner talks about how to deal with a friend or family member who is suffering. He says that two things that Job's friends got right was that they came and then they sat with Job. And the second thing is listening. Job's friends listened, and so should you. Tell them that you're sorry, and then just shut up. Like, let them talk. Okay, that's my 5-minute summary of Kushner's book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. If you want to know more, check out my more in-depth discussion on my page. And again, if you like my summary and would like to hear more summaries like this, subscribe to my channel.